Good evening, everybody. Sitting down to watch the Brumbies take on the Hurricanes. As a Blues man, I should probably want the Brumbies to get the job done here, or at the very least, deny the Hurricanes a winning bonus point. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. See how it goes. First game for the Brumbies to be back home. They're playing in a new strip for this one-off use anyway. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Where are we all watching from? What are our predictions for this one? I don't think I've been doing all that flash on the predictions thus far. The guys still haven't come out onto the pitch yet if you are not watching the game itself. Jamie says, go Canes. Marius is here. Paddy Wagon wants the Canes to get that bonus point win. Mark Dunphy is up in the middle of the morning, no doubt. Says good morning, Sense. Go Canes. Daramundi's here. Starleo is here up in the Canes. Schlanger. 2 cents always with the Tui. Today's the Spates, man. April Tui. Speaking of Tuis, kia ora friends, how's everybody? We have paid for a pass for the rest of the season so you can watch from the Staffordshire Moorlands. Well done. Grant's in cloudy Taipei. Lewis is here, mate. Looking forward to the Springboks announcement, no doubt. Surely your Blues would rather have the Canes in the final than the Crusaders. That actually makes a lot of sense, Jamie. That makes a lot of sense. Ducks Quack, good evening, man. Novmum. Didn't watch the last game. Had a headache, so had to lie down. Definitely take care of your health first and foremost. Mark Super Brew is not looking great. Mine neither, mate. Far is in Bolton. How's it going, man? Whatever happened to Bolton Wanderers? Stopped following football a long time ago. It's damn hot where April is at. It's actually quite hot in this room as well because I've got the heat pump running. It's just like up there because my current power supply gives me 1 hour of free power a day. I never usually wear those things. I just use those things. I just wear a jacket. But if I can get free power, it has to be off-peak power. So 9 p.m. I run that thing to heat the whole room up. Probably a bit wasteful, but anyway, means I'm not having to sit there in a big jacket. Craig says, "G'day, Mark. G'day, Craig, man. How's it going over in Oz?" Mark's got the Brumbies by 3. Starleo wants the Blues in the final instead of the Satyrs, even though we played better against the Satyrs. But please, no more Crusaders. It'd be nice to see a new champion, wouldn't it? Hurricanes Blues would be a nice final. Someone else gets a trophy for a change. This game's going to be a wee while to kick off, I would imagine, because they're celebrating. I think it's Pacific culture over there at the moment. They're doing. It looks like it's a multicultural performance, actually. They got the poise going. It's pretty cool. Shanga asks, when's the Chinese liquor coming out? Actually, I had some Chinese liquor with dinner. Man, that stuff hits me like a ton of bricks. I had 2 little shot glasses of it, and I wasn't like drunk or anything, but I felt it more than I feel a beer. Team Glenn says, good morning from Ireland. Is it warm over there, mate, or is it still pretty chilly? Shane says, g'day, been a while, man. How's it going? Greasy reckons Canes with a bonus point. Scooter says Canes by 22. Is this trophy considered a big one, Mark? Not really, but it'd be nice to see it in the hands of someone other than the Crusaders, is all I will say. Should be drinking Tui with a Canes jersey. I had to go buy more beer, man, so I bought Spates. It was on special. What can I say? My TV is very loud, Scott. Thank you for the tip. I will turn it down before I get in trouble with Sansa. We don't want that. Sensa says, g'day. G'day, Sensa. And Sean says, the Tars were rubbish against the Highlanders. They just could not defend any line-out attacks from the Highlanders, which was just a bit sad. They scored some points in the first half, but second half was pretty bad. Starleo reckons Canes by 15. We shall see. Novmum has also got the Canes by 15. Team Glenn says 15 degrees Celsius at the moment, and it's 10:55 a.m. That's not too bad. What's the temperature here? Hold on a second. The temperature here is probably a bit cooler than that. It is Can't be 15 degrees. Apparently it's also 15 degrees here. Unbelievable. Right, we've just had kickoff. I am at 5 seconds. As always, if you guys are watching the game, try not to spoil it for us who are, those of us that are behind you. Feel free to leave non-specific spoilers. The most common one is to tell me to look up and focus on the screen for a second. But yeah, if you could be so kind as to not put any super specific spoilers in the chat, that would be much appreciated. Another Tri-Fest Big V8 show. Nah, surely not. This one will be tighter. Surely. Jamie says, glorious day in Malmo in Sweden. Watching on the balcony. I envy that. Line out ball to the Brumbies. Earlier they're attacking. The Canes line just on the halfway. Big carry from Rob Valtini. He's got to be a Wallaby this year, but he has knocked it on. Maybe not. Rodri. Hello, Rodri. Craig says it's colder in Brizzy. 12 degrees. Surely it can't. I reckon this has got to be wrong. It can't be 15 degrees. Oh, it says it's 15 degrees. Okay. Irish summer is really 15 degrees. I guess we've just started our winter, haven't we? So it's not too bad. 14 degrees on the Gold Coast. Good evening, Marky Mark. JP, man, how are you, sir? Are you recovering after yesterday's disappointing loss? Buenos dias. Jose, man, how are you doing, sir? We've almost got 2 minutes on the clock on my one. We are having the glorious scrum resets. Schlinger says it's 12 degrees in Sydney right now. How the heck is it 2 hours later, but it's still 15 degrees here? Maybe because it's been cloudy. I guess the cloud cover's keeping the heat in. 6 degrees in Canberra. Goodness gracious me. So the box squad should be interesting. Now, Sean, confirm this for me, because you'll know. The box squad is being named at 5:30 UK time. Right? JP's still in denial. Sorry to say that it did actually happen. Here is trouble. Julian Savia has just burst down the right wing. All of a sudden, the Brumbies are having to defend inside their own 22. Nice to see an away team with their home jersey on. I know it doesn't happen that much anymore, man. And the Canes win a penalty in the Brumbies 22. You can put your mortgage on them not going for the sticks here. Hot as buggery in the desert for Grant. I guess that's what happens when you live in the desert, man. You knew what you were signing up for. It's about to hit 10 o'clock, so I'll turn the heat pump off because I have to pay for my power from here on out. Line out ball for the Canes, 6 metres out. Well taken. Brumbies didn't contest it, but their maul is looking strong. Interesting, the role reversal of the refs. Oh, yeah, that's true. We had an Aussie ref over here earlier, and now we've got a Kiwi ref over there. Is the bus still as good as he was? I think he's come back looking pretty fit, actually. I still wouldn't pick him for the All Blacks, but he's looked really fit. George hopes the Savia makes the ABs. I honestly can't see it happening. But he has been in great form in Trans-Tasman. I will give him that. Do I ever watch cricket, Schlanger? I probably haven't watched cricket since that World Cup final where we lost to the Aussies. That's like not the last World Cup, but the one before. That's probably the last time I watched cricket. Yeah. Expecting a tight game, says Jamie. Got the Canes by 7. They'll want to win by more than that. Savia is busting off tackles, telling me that I don't know nothing and he needs to make the All Blacks. Goodness me. Busted off at least 2. Bobbling ball. Nobody scores. Who has time for cricket? I used to watch it as a kid, loved it. I think April Tui, cricket's a good one to have on in the background as you do something else because it does take a very long time. Reasi or Naraki for AB's 11? Oh, maybe Reasi. But either choice is a good one. Looks cold in Canberra. Apparently, George, is always cold in Canberra from what I hear. What is it about the geography that makes Canberra so darn cold? Oh, the Hurricanes line out has just let them down phenomenally. Good attacking chance. Lets the Brumbies have a pretty straightforward exit here. Kiwis don't have the patience to be good at cricket. Do you reckon? Team Glenn, cheers, man. Thanks for all the coverage this week, man. Love the community here too. Great chats. Yeah, man, the community here is flipping awesome. Cheers, man. Appreciate that very much so. Thank you kindly, brother. We are very lucky to have very few heads of the Richard variety in our crew here. And anybody new to these streams will probably find the same. It's a pretty bloody good group. Talking rugby and talking all kinds of nonsense. Gardening. All stuff. Cricket, apparently. Yesterday we talked ice hockey. All kinds of stuff. Yes. Conway hit 200 on his test debut against England. I did see that in the news. I didn't watch the game. But yeah, that's true, Rodri. So I dropped into Gareth Mason's stream last week. Gareth Mason is a good bloke. So, yep, I wasn't streaming. I figured I'd see if he was. And sure enough, there he was. Yesterday it was dad jokes, JP. That's very true. Canberra is in a highland below ski fields. I guess their logo is like mountains in the background of with a horse in the foreground, right? So that kind of makes sense. Pretty cold. Someone in the Tron won Powerball. Sad to say it wasn't you. No, Mum, the day you win Powerball, I expect a super chat of at least $10 if you win Powerball. I will say, I played the lotto. I play the lotto every week for $2.80, which is the cheapest ticket you can buy. You can't even win Powerball. You can only win $1 million, which in the Auckland housing market is bugger all. But I did win a bonus ticket this week. I won a bonus ticket. Small victory, so I'll take it. Friendly, chatty crew. Indeed it is, Craig. Indeed it is. Likewise with G-Man's streamer. He's got his mates on, so that's always a bit of a good chat. And recently Kiwi Lad's doing a bit of commentary on the games as well. So you got plenty of choices for your rugby. Spoiled for choice. I think you're right with the time of the box score, but I checked, I can't find it. Sean, I don't know whereabouts you are, but I know it's on Sky Sports in England. I think I saw on their Twitter it was 5:30, which I think makes it 4:30 in the morning over here, which is going to be painful. Interestingly, in New Zealand, I don't even think it's got an official broadcaster, but Super Sport looks like they're going to do the box announcement on their Facebook page, so I will risk getting up at stupid o'clock to watch that. Flesher Man, good morning, evening to you, sir. We are 8 minutes and 55 seconds into this one. The Brumbies are down the Canes end after the Canes kind of blew their chances down the other. And we'll see if they can convert this to any points. I have my mates on here as well. I know, man. That's really good. It's essentially a crew at this point, eh? Although I like to think we're always pretty welcoming of new people as well. It's not like it's only people who've been around a certain time, eh? So, no, it's good. Back for the advantage for the Brumbies? Surely. Blow it up, ref. Finally. Thoughts on Peroni? Peroni's alright. Decent beer. Decent beer. Nice Food Takeaways is back in the Canes. Yeah, no points yet. No points yet. Malcolm is in Scotland. Morning, man. What's the weather doing? That's the topic of the day. I'm asking everybody, what's the temperature? Seems that Aussie is colder than New Zealand at the moment, at least where I am. But Palmerston North, which is south of where I am, is colder. Morning, John. We welcome everybody, even Hawaiian pizza lovers. Exactly right, JP. And this chat's very good for Mark's procrastination. I used to be the king of procrastination when I was a university student. I will admit that as well. Watch up, says Junaid. All right, man. It's the Brumbies. It's Valtini. He's 4 meters out, brought down. Lonergan just manages to get the ball out of there. Cracking through another phase. Coles with a tackle. Kunzel. He's got a horrible hairdo, but we don't hold that against him. Each to their own. Malonga's one's not much better. Inside ball from Lolosio. Still short the Brumbies. Still short. 6 phases. They got advantage. They can do anything here. They just busted up. Who was that? It was Lonergan. Oh, he just saw a gap and butted it down. Whew. Beautiful sunshine and barbecue weather. That's what we like to hear, Malcolm. Just like the Brumbies who like to hear the fact that Ryan Lonergan just scored the opening try of the game. Phase play wins games, absolutely. He looked like he's going to pass it there. He just dots it down. I guess there's nobody standing to the side of the ruck, so why not do it? 20 degrees, clear blue skies. Took the grandkids to Brighton for a few days. Oh, Flesh and you talking April about what you've been up to. Yeah, he went to Brighton. Lucky fella. I don't know much about Brighton other than that football team's logo's got a seagull on it, so I'm assuming it's a seaside place, which is probably pretty pleasant. Ryan Lonergan, first try. Snipe side of ruck. 1 meter out. There you go. And Lolosio's lining up the conversion. Still hasn't kicked it. Still thinking about it. Audi logo in the background. Somebody's like got a whole cardboard cutout of what looks like Tom Wright's face. That thing's huge. He's nailed the conversion. 7 points to 0. Brumbies are in front. Could you do a video on your predicted Lions squad? I did one on the 23 I would have chosen before the squad was announced. I think I got most of them in the actual squad itself. George North obviously got injured before, after I made the video. And Sinclair didn't make it. I think pretty much everyone else I picked made it. It's the missus' birthday today, so I'm sneaking in some rugby. What's the logic there, Grant? It's her birthday, so you get to watch rugby? How does that work? Please explain. Randy, man, how's it going, man? 7-0 to the Brums, 14 minutes gone. Savi is back, which is a bit of good news. But they are behind on the scoreboard. We need the Blues home final. Randy, if the Blues get a home final, I'm buying a ticket. I have to go to that game. The last time I went to any kind of Super Rugby final of any kind, it wasn't a final, it was a quarter final. It was in Wellington. I went to see the Hurricanes play the Bulls, I think in 2019. Because I was like, if I wait for the Blues to host any kind of knockout game, I'm going to be waiting a long time. And yes, as April 2, he says, happy birthday to you, Mrs. Grant. Hope she has a great day. Where's the final flesh? And that'll depend on who's the top qualifier. We don't know yet. It's one of the things about Super Rugby. You never know until the week before. Supposed to spend some time with the missus, but I sneak in rugby while you're making lunch for the family. Okay, that's fair enough. I put my phone on above the sink, which is probably not the wisest move when I'm doing the dishes, to sneak in a bit of rugby as well myself. So I feel you. Morning, American Tigers Rugby. How are you doing? We are 7-0. Brumbies in front. Try to Ryan Lonergan early. 15 and a half minutes gone. Hurricanes are hot on attack, although they're still around the halfway line. They do have advantage. Live stream the final from the ground. I don't think Sky Sports would appreciate that. I think they would shut me down pretty fast. Final is likely to be in New Zealand. I think it has to be in New Zealand, surely. Surely. Stalio's going to miss Laumape at the Canes. We're all going to miss Laumape, definitely. It's going to be a big loss to New Zealand rugby. Watch up, says Janae, with a little smile. Okay. The Hurricanes have got a penalty. Geordie Barrett has drilled it pretty much right over the 5-metre line. So this time they'll have another crack. Need to win their own line-out ball this time. Monco's hoping the Highlanders can make the finals. Mathematically possible. The bonus point today certainly helped out. And Nadek has been playing some great footy. You're not wrong there, man. He's been electric. Hurricanes do win their line-out this time. The Maul is driving up. They're doing to the Brumbies what the Brumbies usually do to other teams. And Dane Coles just peeled off there and burst over for a try. Well done. Good way to hit back. To be fair, you got to give a lot of credit to Geordie Barrett because he took that penalty kick from a long way away and drilled it essentially 5 metres out from the Brumbies line. Great maul, and yeah, he just too powerful, too powerful. Trivia's Randy. Yes, we do have a trivia as Geordie Barrett will line up the conversion. What have it got? Have we had this one before? I think we have had this one before, but there's a few new people around, so you may not have heard this one before. I think we have had this one before. Who was the ITM Cup Player of the Year in 2011? We've had it one before, definitely. You can still hear the TV schlanger. I will turn it down a touch more. Thank you for the heads up. Thank you for the heads up. And we do love Geordie's big old boot, don't we? Happy, happy days. I will update the score in just a second. 7 points apiece. I think JP is aware of the Reds' fate. He is just choosing to be in denial. A wee bit of tongue-in-cheek. Wyatt Crockett. Where's this Crockett business coming from? At least not according to the bottle cap, which is definitely an infallible source of knowledge. 2011 ITM Cup Player of the Year. Apparently it's not Wyatt Crockett. Google says it's wrong. Mark, you need to give us your own trivia questions. I probably should. Google says Crockett. Bottle cap does not say Crockett. Any other guesses? It's a back, not a forward, so that's a clue. How's the game been so far, Rando? Interestingly, a lot of game played in the centre of the field. Kind of both sides busting through phases. Like the Brumbies are 6 phases in the middle of the field at the moment before they finally kick it. And the Hurricanes did the same before they finally won a penalty, and then Geordie Barrett booted them into maul territory. Say Aaron Smith. It's not Aaron Smith, But the dude who it says it is not a lot bigger than him. He'd probably be a similar size. Bottle cap definitely greater than Google. Let me just Google the answer and see if it comes out. Oh, not Aaron Smith, you silly man. That's what someone just suggested. I think maybe the bottle cap's wrong, eh? Maybe the bottle cap's wrong. I don't know. Surely not. Cruden. Randy's got it. Yeah, Cruden. Scooter's got it as well. Where did you find it? Cruden. It says it's Cruden on the bottle cap. I'm looking at Aaron Cruden's Wikipedia page. Junior Player of the Year 2009. Doesn't say anything about being ITM Cup Player of the Year. Randy celebrating victory with that one. Absolutely. Can that be wrong? Can the bottle cap be wrong? Surely not. Surely. The good people at Spates will have had to have done their homework, right? Right, time for the Brumbies to have a line out down the Hurricanes end. Not quite in as good field position, and then it's just out from the 22-metre line. Lonergan. Valtini. They like using him as their crash ball carrier, eh? Makes sense, he's a big old unit. Wyatt Crockett was 2011 Super Rugby Player of the Year. There we go, that might be it. Maybe the ITM Cup Player of the Year thing wasn't such a big news story for Google. Oh man, the Brumbies are going close. But no, the Canes have turned them over. Very little information on the ITM Cup. Should we have a Trans-Tasman Mitre 10 Cup? I think the travel costs would be prohibitive, and I don't know who the Kiwi teams will play because the NRC got canned because that was funded by Fox. It's one of the things that shifting to Stan, I think, kind of cost. Or maybe it was just Rugby Australia that pulled it. I don't know. Whatever their funding model is when they switched over to Stan, one of the victims was the NRC. Yeah, what's happening? This game's getting a wee bit messy. Hurricanes have won a pretty solid penalty just on their own 22-metre line. And Geordie Barrett has kicked it long. Oh, Karifi's kind of smacked one of the Brumbies guys in the head, but are they going to have a look at it? Ooh, he strikes him pretty much right on the jaw. Yowza. He dips, and then he's falling into it, so there's mitigation if they are going to look at it. Jason Emery's back at Manawa too. Rando, I did not hear that. Checking foul play. Yeah, I've just got to it now. He's kind of falling. So I feel like he'll get a yellow. Mark also reckons yellow because of the dip. He's clearly falling, but he's been absolutely smashed in the face there. What's your favourite and least favourite rugby jerseys? Clear mitigation, so it's a yellow. Okay. High tackle with mitigation. I'll have to do a video on that. I'll rank them, or at least I'll go over them. Paddy Karifi hit a tackle. Oh, was it Swain? One of the Brumbies locks. But he was kind of falling, so he smashed him essentially with his shoulder into his jaw. But yeah, he was falling. He was really dipping as he went down. So yeah, he got yellow carded rather than red. Bulls 2014 camouflage jersey. That's a memorable one, Escasiva, mate. Definitely. Don't know how much that one sold for, or how well it sold. Jordy kicked that penalty quickly because he knew something had happened, but he never got away with it. Yeah, true. He did take that unnaturally quickly, didn't he? Did Gazza do his Springbok squad for the Lions video? He's been telling me he's been working on something for the Lions for ages, but he's never really followed up. Or maybe I should hassle him about it. Not the biggest fan of Kareem. If you ever seen his stats, he gives way too many penalties. Yeah, he does. I remember I did a look at him last year when he made the All Black squad. I looked at him and Kane and Xavier and a few other guys, and his penalty stats were stupidly high. Karifi gives away way too many. But he has been a wee bit better this year. The Brumbies are absolutely knocking on the door here. Has anybody knocked it on at the back of that ruck? Maybe not. Gone 5 phases on 24, almost 25 minutes. It's going to be held up. We will have a goal line dropout. The Cats jersey was bad. And if you're a lock and Karifi can high tackle you, there better be some mitigation. Yeah, that's true. Karifi's not the tallest guy. I would love a Cats jersey. I tried to find a Cats jersey to buy one, but you just can't buy them. They're way too old now. Springbok squad getting announced today. Yes. Tomorrow for me, 4:30 in the morning. Trying to figure out if I should get up at 4:30 to watch it, or if I should get up at like 5 or 5:30, because you know the first kind of like hour is going to be fluff, right? Absolutely going to be all fluff. If the Lions one is anything to go by. Oh, Scruffton's got a wee bit of a nasty cut under his eye. Guess he needs to bless us with another sermon. Yeah, indeed. Should get Gazza to do a Q&A stream. Yeah, that'd actually be a bit of a fun one, wouldn't it? Yeah, he's a talker, so I'm sure he'd get through it pretty well. You can guarantee the fluff style. Yeah, because essentially if it was just, we're going to do the squad announcement, they could do it in 5 minutes. And then half an hour of questions, but yeah. Cabbage Patch loves Karifi, and yeah, the penalty problem is very solvable. Shonik, mate, I'm at 25-40. We're 7 points apiece. The Brumbies are on attack just outside the Hurricanes' 22-metre line. And they are without Duplessis Karifi for the next 7 minutes and 40 seconds. If you don't join in on the drinking game next time Two Cents Rugby, I will, I don't know, just join. Get some shots ready. That's why I had the old Chinese liquor with dinner tonight, because my missus cooked a dinner which was very good. What do you call it with wine? Like accompaniment? Like it goes well with the liquor, the drink. So yeah, I had a couple of shots in that in case I ever end up having a wee drink of that. I wanted my body to be back used to it. Is Pete Samu injured? I think he was injured a few rounds ago. It must be quite a while ago now because he hasn't played for seemingly ages. But then the odd guy comes back from injury and is just not selected. So, yeah. Pairs well, maybe that's it. Simon Barnes can't handle the Baijiu. Bro, I actually did pretty well with it today. I did pretty well with it. I had like the spicy chicken dish, and it went with it pretty good. I wasn't gagging, and my son was like, "Hey, drink it," and he's like, "Do the face, do the face." And I was like, "What face?" And he's like, "The ugh, face." Didn't even do the face. I managed to drink Baijiu without making a face. It's probably a first. Ever done a stream wastage slanger? Probably not too bad. I don't get quite to like G-Man levels. Anytime I've had the Vailima is the closest. The Vailima kicks me in the backside. Mark, Liam has been out in the garden since 8 a.m. He's on holiday for a bit now. He's skipping this game to mow the lawns. Goodness gracious, mate, to mow the lawns. Oh, he's a busy bee. Good on him, man. Hard-working man you got there. So you got yourself a keeper. What can I say? That Chinese liquor, the one that tastes like the Tars play every year. The one that if you look up people drinking it on the internet, they're generally being sick. Yeah, that liquor. But as I said yesterday, that liquor is not supposed to be just like, you know, you're not supposed to just down a shot of it on its own. It's made to go with food, apparently, to enjoy it properly. And I can attest that it was more palatable if you do it that way. Meat, especially, something quite salty or maybe spicy, works best. And it feels better to drink it in winter than summer. Summer's too hot to be drinking that stuff. Vailima is for real drinkers. Yeah, the Vailima was on special today, but I didn't get the Vailima. It was 4 for 20. I didn't want to get 4 Vailimas. He's so busy, he's non-stop with his projects. Compost later. Good man. Keeps him out of trouble, I'll bet. Can you imagine him if he was idle hands? Not a good thing. Is that Kane's jersey yellow or gold? You know, a lot of jerseys get called gold, but that's the closest one, Scott, that I would say actually looks kind of gold. I got some cooking Baijiu sitting right next to me. Mates bought it thinking it was just something to drink. No, definitely a cooking additive. Yeah. There's different kinds of Baijiu. Some of it is literally for cooking with. And even if you get the normal one just for drinking with, you're not supposed to just sit there and drink shots of it like whiskey. You're supposed to have it with your dinner. And before you have your rice, you're supposed to have your dishes like your fried veggies or meat or whatever, and then have your alcohol at the same time. And then when you're finished drinking, you've finished all your other dishes, then you just have your rice to kind of finish it off. At least where I lived in China, that was the deal. Happy to see Marcel going last night. How did he go, Simon? I missed that game. I saw the Bulls won that at the death, though. Spoiler alert. Sorry, people. Talking about the Chinese rice one that you mix with food. No, you don't mix it in food. It's just like a spirit that you just drink with dinner. Like the same way you would have a beer or a wine or whatever, you can have this liquor stuff. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. South Hawk says, has to be the Chiefs year. Blues, man. Surely it's the Blues year at this point. Come on. Craig's a painter and says it's gold and yellow. There we go. I'm sure we'll take that. 30 minutes and 55 seconds. I haven't been talking much about the rugby because during this yellow card period, we've had a lot of midfield play with not a heck of a lot going on, which would make Baijiu table wine. Sammy, thank you for educating me. I did not know that. I feel so ignorant with this stuff. I genuinely, I'm not being sarcastic. I know the internet can come across as sarcastic. Is that what a table wine is? Okay. Something that you pretty much only drink with dinner. Okay. People need to know Baijiu is definitely a table drink. Jamie's liking all the scrums to run down the yellow card period. Yeah, it's working well for the Canes. There's only... how many minutes left in the yellow? Just under 2 minutes. Getting sick of my Albanian neighbour's kids. Getting sick of my Albanian neighbour's kids as Wales are playing Albania in a soccer friendly later. Do they even do friendlies? I thought they didn't do friendlies in soccer anymore. I thought they did the Nations Cup thingy. This game does seem kind of slow, says Novmum. So far, it's been a bit attritional. I would like to see like the ball in the 22 time. I feel like it's not been that high. Phenomenal Coetzee, according to Jake White. No surprises, to be honest. Yeah, Marcel Coetzee is a phenomenal player. He just is injury prone. But if he's fit, he's coming fit at the right time. Hurricanes on attack, concede a penalty. Rayasi was tackled, kept moving. So, Brumbies get an exit. Warm up for the Euros. Okay, fair enough. So, genuine friendlies. Slow game compared to the Landers and Tars, which had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 tries in the first half. 10 seconds left on the yellow card. The Canes have done well, haven't conceded a single point. Brumbies will be pretty frustrated with themselves. Injury prone like every Sharks legend ever. Pat Lambie is the next guy that comes to mind. Man. If Front Staines get picked for the Box to play against the Lions, will he be the first player to play on 2 different tours? I did see something on social media about some dude back in like the 60s or something who played the Lions a mental number of times. So I think in the modern era, I think he would. Yeah. Where's Steph Parrott, the Chiefs man? He is conspicuous in his absence, man. He'll surely be along later. Surely. And I remember who got the Canes try, Shonik. That one was Dane Coles from a mall. After Dwayne Vermeulen got injured yesterday, Marcel Coetzee took over the captaincy in his first game. Speaks a lot to the player, doesn't it? Alan Jones will be second time too. We never thought of it from that point of view, eh? Because he's done tour after tour after tour. Bro, it's not Tui, this is Spate. Spate. It's just the same colour bottle. Much better defence in this game. The commentators are calling it touch rugby in the first game. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It was embarrassing in that first half. Boo Marky, where's your Brumbies jersey? My Brumbies jersey is thinner fabric than my Hurricanes one. And I'm being a wuss because it's been chilly. So I'm wearing the thicker jersey of the two. Hurricanes got another penalty. Many of the tries felt so lazy. They did. They were soft, embarrassing, I guess, kind of thing. Going to live stream the game tomorrow? Probably not. 5 o'clock kind of sucks in terms of my children just sitting down to have their dinner. So, and I want my dinner as well. And I've only eaten my dinner once on camera, and it's not the, I don't know. It's almost like, what do they call those, like audio visual experiences? Like watching someone else eat their dinner is probably not a great audio experience for everybody. Getting better with my excuses, I know. Aniket says, go Canes. They need some points, man. They may do they're going for a penalty here. Bloody hell, that speaks to how the Brumbies defence is going, eh? ASMR. What does ASMR stand for? Audio something. Bro, I'm old, man. Geordie Barrett with the penalty. God, he kicks it high. He's nailed it. Seven points to 10. I will change it. Or do I not want to know what ASMR stands for? Surely it's nothing too bad. Mighty Blues are on top indeed. 2 cents ASMR only fans. You know, funnily enough, in like the last weeks of my old job before I finally quit it, one of the requests we had come through was a student who was like, I can't access OnlyFans on my university Wi-Fi connection. Why would you log a ticket for that? Autonomous sensory meridian response. Wow. The way your body reacts to sound. Okay, that makes more sense. And a kid, I just write notes about what happens during the game, so when I do the review, I know what happened. Otherwise, I forget. A win next week will do. Exactly, Jamie. Yeah, they're in a good position because the Crusaders and the Highlanders have both dropped bonus points in 2 games, and points difference is looking pretty decent. Said it last week, Geordie's really improving all the time. He's matured a lot, man. Now I think he's deserving of an All Black spot. I wouldn't say Geordie has always earned... That's a bit harsh, but sometimes I feel like they fast-tracked Geordie into those black jerseys that he's got in the past, but now he's legit one of the best players we've got. Good vibes, crazy. So far, so good. Hate when people eat with their mouth open. There was the guy who I used to sit next to at my old office job, and he sometimes pops in, so I should be careful, but I had to remind him often, because he would just have his headphones on, and he would just literally sit eating at his desk. That's awful. I had to be like, I'm good. I got a quite good relationship with him. I can quite honestly say to him, bro, what the F are you doing? Be quiet. That's horrible. Anthony, what's been happening? She's been a wee bit ugly this game, to be honest. There's been 2 tries early, one each way. A maul try for the Canes, which was pretty well worked after a big old Geordie Barrett touch finder from a penalty. And Ryan Lonergan sniped to the side of a ruck to get the first one, but everything else has been very stop-start. Very stop-start. Do I think South Africa will win the Lions Tour? Well, we'll see what's going to happen with their squad, which is being named in like 6 or 7 hours. But that'll be a good indication. But surely at home they have to go in with some kind of favouritism. I don't know. They haven't played any Test rugby, so it's a bit of a weird balance. Crusaders will face the Rebels. Tries needed for both the Canes and the Blues. I think the Blues have got, because I spoke about it with Novmum in the comments of another video, like a 38-point advantage over the Crusaders. Now, the Crusaders could legit like put 50, 60, 70 points on the Rebels and erase that difference if the Blues have a close game with the Force. But 38 points is a pretty solid buffer, I think. So many dumb penalties, shake my head, indeed. It's been a bit of a tough watch that first half, folks. Glad you guys are here to suffer through that one with me. We got an ad for Bunnings Warehouse. 11, Jay said, Jonathan. Almost called you Sonathan. Why? I don't know. I haven't had that much to drink. How you doing, man? We're doing pretty good. We are doing pretty good. The game's been a touch ugly. But it's close. It's close. We'll take close. Definitely we'll take close. but Stalio reckons the Brumbies are going to collapse in the second half. And you can't trust the Blues beating the Force. Surely the Blues are going to beat the Force. Surely. England are 140 for 3. Grant's watching the cricket. I don't think, does Sky have the rights to the cricket? I don't think Sky has the rights to the cricket. Let me have a look. It's half time. What is on Sky Sports at the moment? We've got rugby, tennis, netball, rugby league, basketball, NBL, like Australian basketball, rowing, A-League, which is soccer from Australia, AFL, Essendon against Richmond. I'd have no idea what's going on with that. First 15 rugby replay, more US Open, a couple of ESPN channels, and then more tennis. So 3 channels of tennis. There's not a bit of cricket to be found. It's on Spark Sports. That'll be why it's not on this one. I reckon the Trans-Tasman comp will probably benefit the Aussies more than the Kiwis. Yeah, Shane, it's an interesting one. You feel like if the Wallabies guys hadn't played any Kiwi teams and they jumped straight in to play the All Blacks, it might have gotten a bit messy. But we had that last year, and they did okay in the first game. But yeah, I don't know. I think it will be good for them. TJ, our cat, caught one of the bunnies that live under our shed. Oh, that's not good, April Tui. Not good at all. How's the part-time gardening channel? I've been a bit hands-off in the garden recently. I've been adding coffee grounds and still trying to kill my grass, basically. That's about it. Did dig some compost in and some bokashi, so she's going all right. Jonathan says, so many games the last few weeks, I hardly remember what's happening in the games I've seen. Thankfully, there are highlights where I watch. Sometimes, Jonathan, mate, my dad will be like, did you watch that game? And I'll be like, yeah, I know, I watched it. And he's like, what was the score? And I'll be like, I have no idea. Who played well? Who scored the tries? Even if I know the score, but who scored the tries? I have no idea. Can't remember. All Blacks were surprised with the Wallabies last season. They know what to expect this season. That could be true as well. Absolutely could be true. Bamboo's a bother. It'll go everywhere if you don't get it out, dig it out completely. We played some dudes to get rid of bamboo at our old place. Such an awful plant for normal gardens. Right, mental note, don't plant bamboo. I'm keen to have a look at these halftime stats. Hope the Blues can play a home final for the first time since 2003. Mate, if that happens, I will definitely buy a ticket. I have not had a chance to go to any kind of meaningful, proper meaningful knockout trophy game at Eden Park. Well, yeah, like you say, since 2003. Maybe there's been... Nah, not much anyway. Halftime stats. Run meters 163 to 167. It's pretty tight. Possession 54-46. Territory 53-47. Turnovers conceded is 9-5 to the Brumbies. Yeah, penalties conceded is 6-5. 6 scrums to the Canes. Shows there's been a few Brumbies knock-ons. Favorite thing about the Reds game was Paisami having some playmaking ability. Imagine him at second 5 rather than just a crash ball. Didn't they play him at second 5 for quite a while? Review of the games helps out quite a lot. I appreciate that, man, because like I'm trying to get back into following the ice hockey, and I've been watching the guy whose channel started me on this channel's route, and I honestly think it's helpful. I don't have time to watch the whole games, so I watched that guy's reviews of the games, and I'm like, cool, now I know what was going on, so yeah, I think it's good. Ryan says, Mark, a lot of the Polish that... Oh, Polish or Polish? This is where that capital P would come in handy. Polish that come to Ireland are going back to Poland and teaching kids rugby. That's good news. That's very good news. We're going to have a Polish team on the horizon. That would be great. What does Ian Foster have to do with the ABs to get over with everyone in New Zealand, especially since they don't play any tough teams in July? Good question. He probably has to go out and have pretty much a flawless rugby championship, eh? Yeah, tough. Same deal, often use your games to recap the games. Very helpful. I appreciate that, man, Simon. Like I said, I find that guy's content useful. So I figure there's a market for it. Yeah, I like it. Islanders game was a banger. Shame they didn't win. Ryman, they did well. They were behind for the majority of that game. I actually watched. That's the only game I've watched, like the whole thing. Yeah, they did really well to get to overtime, to get that equaliser before in the third period. But yeah, couldn't get the overtime goal. I can never forget how every time you discuss the run meters, I think about your shock at the 10 run meters Wells ran against Ireland. It was like the greatest discovery in human history. That was bonkers. How do you go a whole half with 10 run meters? 10. Like, in this game, there's going to be... I know it's not a test match, but it's been a bit of an ugly battle. How many players have you got more than 10 run meters? Kata's got 21. Ikitau's got 11. Lolasio's got 29. Lonergan's got 17. Valtini 21. Stower's 21. Savia, Proctor, Laumapi, and Reasi are all in the 20s, as is Coles, as is Karifi. And this was a whole team got 10. Like, you can't be doing that, man. That's bonkers. That's bonkers. Saudi got Pope. England are 140 for 4. Up the Black Caps, indeed. All Blacks have a lot of games this year, assuming they go ahead. South Africa have about 14 games. And I'm thinking it's about the same as the ABs. Yeah, I suppose so. A couple of games against Georgia, South Africa A side. It's going to be pretty fascinating. South Africa A side could almost be like a fourth Lions test, eh? Surely at 10 run meters they had like 2% position. I can't remember, but it was pretty ugly. Pretty ugly. Who's Gaz's favourite player at the moment? Who does Gazza go on about at the moment? Who has he been talking about? He talked a bit about Nadeki being pretty good, so that's probably one. 10 run meters for the whole game. Yeah, they were knocking it on when they did get the ball and largely kicking it. And yeah, like Stalia said, they had bugger all ball. So, yeah. Speaking of the Netherlands, it turns out they once had a competitive test cricket team. I vaguely remember the Netherlands playing cricket at a World Cup years ago. Don't know. Alright, I'm going to grab another beer and we'll see what that next trivia is. Hopefully something that we haven't had before. I'll be back in a sec. Trivia question, indeed. Anthony, are you ready? What do we got? That's a yachting question by the look of things. Yachting. And yes, that was the couch. Escasiva, a full look at the couch. The JP, the April Tui. What was Russell Coates suffering from when he won gold at the 1984 Olympics. It's a great answer. It's an absolute great answer. Yachting. What was he suffering from? Pohan says, huge yachting fan here. Not. Seasickness. Not quite, Grant. Can't imagine many yachtsmen get seasickness. Vertigo. No. Alcoholism. Not on here anyway. Motion sickness. No. Barnacles. Barnacles is maybe the closest thing. Like kind of a human equivalent of barnacles. It's a great answer. Scurvy, not quite. Any other takers? Heat stroke, no. Horatio Nelson suffered seasickness. Is that right? Unbelievable. JP managed it. Unbelievable. How did you find that, JP? And he's got the location as well. Boils on his ass. And specifically, it says boils on his bum. So he had boils on his backside. I can't imagine that made sitting in a yacht very comfortable. Unbelievable. And he wins a gold medal with boils on his butt. Well done. I don't really like Russell Coutts, but that gives me a bit more respect for him. Boils on his bum. There you go. How did you find that, JP? I don't want to know. Leo's got the Chemist Warehouse ad. I'm still on the KFC Wicked Box ad at the moment. There it is. Dan Carter, Chemist Warehouse. Know all about balls on. That's not first hand. Sure. Now, folks, the Springbok side is being named at 6:30 p.m. In South Africa, which I believe makes that 5:30 p.m. in the UK and Ireland. I'm assuming you guys are in the same time zone. Correct me if I'm wrong. Very ignorant about lots of things. Which makes it 4:30 in the morning here. I am very tempted to get up and watch it. I'm not tempted enough to set up a live stream beforehand, because in the if I don't get out basically of bed, then I wouldn't want to have people sitting here waiting for me. But I may, if I do manage to get out of bed and I can find a stream, because apparently it's going to be on the Super Sport Rugby Facebook page, live streaming. It didn't say specific to South Africans only. I've got a VPN, so I'm pretty confident I'll get on either way. But if it is live streaming on the Super Sport Rugby Facebook page, it would be a cool one to watch. So I may jump on at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning over here to do the Springbok Lions Tour squad announcement naming thingy. Can't wait for the announcement, says Jonathan. Going to be loads of fluff at the ceremony in any case. Yeah, so I figure I'll get up at around 4:35, jump on my computer, see if I can actually get the stream, because it's not being shown on Sky, which I'm watching this on. I'm having to rely on Super Sport Rugby's Facebook page, which is totally new ground for me. If that works, then I may get up and watch it. So keep an eye out if you wanna do that. Hope Surfontaine's included. Yeah, Jan Surfontaine hasn't played for the Springboks for ages. Right, second half is about to get underway. It is still 10 points to 7. The Hurricanes are in front thanks to that Geordie Barrett penalty. It looks like the Brumbies have made an absolute meal of that kickoff receipt. The Hurricanes have won a penalty. God, that was atrocious. What were they doing there? That's terrible. Unbelievable. Sunday is Novmum's sleep day. get a sleep day. I don't get a sleep day. My kids wake me up pretty early. Underrated problem in South Africa is they have too many 12s. Steyn, De Allende, Esterhuizen, Serfontein, Rianza, Van Rensburg. Did I have anybody else on my list? Oh, Geordie Barrett's missed the penalty though. Maybe something wrong with me because I'm not really pushed about the Lions tour, to be honest. I used to enjoy, but now I'm like, meh. Kakkonen, definitely something wrong with you. Pull your head in, man. Come on. Lions tour, once every 4 years. My husband and I take turns getting up on the weekend, although it's mostly our son. He needs to be supervised. I didn't even put LaRue on my board, did I? I did put LaRue on my board. I've already got a whiteboard already in case I do get up at him. Too close to the post for Geordie Barrett. Yeah, you can't kick the ones that are that close. Will LaRue be up for it? And he better play this time. Somebody who's been watching some top league more than me said he's been in pretty bad form, which is maybe a bit disconcerting. You gave up sleep-ins when you started having children, Craig. Yeah, pretty much that. Pretty much. Although my son's quite a sleeper-inner now, at 5 years old. And my daughter has just transitioned as she's turned 3. She still wants to wake me up, but then she wants to get in my bed and not get out of bed. So she's slowly transitioning to that. I don't want to get out of bed. Fullback's the largest worry in Simon's opinion. Yeah, Fussy seems like the guy, but would you really go and drop a guy with no test match experience to play the British and Irish Lions? I mean, the other guys have done it. Some guys played their first tests against the British and Irish Lions. That's just a thing, but it just seems like a tough ask. Tough ask. Brumbies have won a penalty as the Hurricanes were attacking. That's been the story of this game. Proctor's been playing well this season. Any chance? I think definitely a chance. Definitely a chance. Enor has come back fit, but he's not played a heck of a lot of games. Oh, the Brumbies have just missed touch. For goodness sake, Brumbies. 2 calamitous errors already, and we're only 3 minutes in. Do they not want to win this one? Colby fullback maybe, and Kosim Pimpy on the wings if LaRue is that badly out of form. Steyn or maybe Jesse Krill to cover. Yeah, I kind of wonder if Jesse Krill would have been better off just staying as a fullback for his whole career, but they shifted him into the midfield. Wasn't it the Bulls who were determined that he was going to be a midfielder? Problem with Frans Steyn is maybe he's getting a bit slow. I worry him getting burned if they play some guys like Sam Simmons, Lewis Rees-Zammit. Like we saw Rob Kearney getting outrun by some pretty quick forwards in this competition. So I don't know how quick Frans Steyn is, but like Sam Simmons, if he plays, he's bloody lightning. Folau did it too. Did he really debut against the Lions? That's amazing. How much do I want to get up at 2:30 to watch the box squad announcement? Daramundi, it's a tough ask. I mean, 2:30 is even worse. 4:30, I can stay up by the time the squad announcement's over. It's breakfast time. So, imagine Damien Willems are playing at fullback. He's just so inconsistent, but at least at 15 there's less pressure on him than 10, that's for sure. That's true. Can the Wallabies be competitive against France? I reckon they can, Joshua, for sure. France aren't going to bring their strike team, I reckon. Even if they did, I think the Wallabies would give them a run for their money. But, yeah. Wallabies is different from Super Rugby level. I reckon they'll step up. I reckon. Russie debuted against the Lions. True, he played in like the third test, right? So yeah, some guys can do it. If you're good enough, it doesn't matter who you're playing, right? Just don't sleep. Don't have to get up. You don't have to go to bed. If I don't go to sleep, when am I going to go to sleep? I don't think my kids are just going to let me rest throughout the whole day. Bank those like 4 hours and that's it. That's it for the day. That's my Sunday. Monday's a public holiday, so... Don't think Stay never had that much pace. He's never been a pace man, has he? Bloody hell, that was a hospital pass from Lolosio. The Brumbies are playing rubbish. These first few minutes, they look frazzled. Never done up. I heard cocaine is an option. Yeah, fortunately, don't have any cocaine here. So, yeah, I do have the Chinese liquor, but that's more likely to put me to sleep than anything else. I had a couple of drinks at dinner and I was feeling like bed is looking like a good option. Kekkonen picked the Bok backline to be Pollard, Dealende, Creel, Nkosi, Colby, and Willemse. I reckon Arm is a better defender than Creel. Arm's got a pretty smart read on the game. I think. Didn't he set up Mapimpi's try? Did he set up both tries in the final? I can't remember. I think he's got a pretty good read anyway. Can I hear sirens in the background? Classic only hung up. Bro, I moved to Henderson now. And so one of the neighbours is having a party again. It was the neighbours on that side last time. It's the neighbours on this side this time. And it's not actual sirens. It's just them blasting some noise. Lewis really rates Arm, and so does Andrew. Yeah, Arm is the business. Arm is more rugby smart than Creel. Creel is better athlete. Oh, that's probably true. But because you got a big unit at 12, I think you can probably go with Arm. You don't need the big... I mean, I know Creel's not huge, but he is in the best shape of pretty much any rugby player ever. When I say the neighbours, I mean the neighbours down the street. They're not like the neighbours next door. That's like an old lady. So she's not the one blasting the tunes. Come on, somebody do something in this game. The other New Zealand teams have probably been enjoying this, to be fair. Somewhere you read a comment where, why can't we get smarts with Creel's like body? Yeah, pretty much. They're playing the whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police. Yeah, they're playing that at the end of their song. You ever been to Long Bay? Bro, I went there the other day. How did you know that? I went there like 2 weeks ago. I took a video while I was there. Oh, here goes Billy Kunzel. Put the hammer down, son. Terrible haircut. Beats Geordie Barrett. This game's come alive. Lonergan gets it to Mac Hansen with a big cross kick. It's too big. It's into touch. Creel looks like he's on steroids. I think Creel just loves working out, probably. Game comes alive. He made Geordie Barrett look stupid on defence. That was Namir that came to the rescue, the big prop. England are 140 for 6. It sounds like that game's better than this one. Nick White's coming on. Look at that moustache. What's the best beach in Auckland? Long Bay's pretty nice if you want to come on. If you want to go for a surf beach, probably Piha. Commentary was perfectly timed with the replay they put up. Was thinking, are we timed? No, I'm that far behind, eh? Oh, sorry, April. That was like a half-inspired moment where the game actually came alive. Watch up, says Junaid. Man, we haven't had many calls of that. Brumbies. Line out. Kane's territory. Creel's a bit of a meathead, says Grant. That's why I think maybe, like at fullback, you don't have as many decisions to make as a midfielder. Midfielders like look at Conrad Smith. That dude was smart as. That's what made him a very good midfielder. Like fullback, I don't want to say it's a simpler position, but you know, if you want to take pressure off guys like who are learning the trade, sometimes that's a good way. Like how many guys get introduced to the game through fullback? Maybe Creel should have stayed at fullback. Goodness me, Ikitau has just gone through and scored a try for the Brumbies. He gets tackled in the end goal area by his teammate Nick White with that mustache. Brumbies fans have got the beanies all over. One of the guys spots himself on the big screen just in time to tell his mate, look, we're on the big screen, but then they cut away from him. So by the time his mate looks, he's going to go, what? Nick White. Who was it that said if Nick White's going to change the game? Nick White changed the game. Why didn't he do it? Why didn't he run closer to the post? Yeah, good question. Was anybody near him? Beats Ruben Love. Was anybody coming? Nick White's like, go that way. You better hope your missus doesn't find out, watch up and look up of the trigger phrases to make you do something, otherwise she'll be getting to do household chores. Bro, I already do enough chores. I do plenty of chores. Chores is my business. Yeah, I do plenty of chores. Nick White's taking the conversion. He is indeed. The only reason White tackled him was because Nick White has to take the kick. Yeah, that makes sense. It just took me a real moment to realise that. Love the players like Nick White who've got full passion for the game. Exactly right. Oh, he's missed it though. You can never do enough chores, I type as the missus is watching. Good man. Good man, Grant. RTS, where's he going to play? People reckon he's going to go the midfield, eh? A lot of people saying dump him into the midfield because he's not going to have the kicking game for fullback. But I reckon I would start him at fullback for those reasons I just kind of highlighted, eh? Yeah. I'd probably go fullback. Nice food agrees. Fullback. As a fellow man of leisure, I know what you mean with the chores. There you go. Got to get those chores done, man. Got to do those chores. Heard any news about Malakai Fekitoa, only that he was in a high ball contest against Liam Williams on World Rugby's channel the other day. And it was a weird one where they dropped rugby balls from drones. It was bizarre. If the Brumbies win, it would mean a lot for AU Rugby if they can actually hold on. Definitely still early days, and Kunzel dropping that ball is not going to help things. Scrum time with the Canes pretty well deep into Brumbies territory. RTS wouldn't be bad on the wing. Yeah, but wing is so competitive, eh? How many wingers have we got? I guess how many fullbacks have we got? Yeah, maybe in terms of the All Blacks, maybe they are looking for midfielders more, so they may edge him towards the midfield. It's tough to say. Saw Rob Dupree at 12 for sale last night, and as average as I think he is, I'd still pick him over Franz on current form. Interesting call, man. Haven't they been playing him a little bit at 12 with McGinty at 10? RTS definitely utility back. Not surprised if he's in the centres with the Blues. Yeah, it's a bit of a selection conundrum, eh? Random question. Ever smoked a whole pack in a day? Cigarettes? Absolutely. I used to smoke way too much. Way too much. Real question is for fullback, D-Mac or Geordie? Or Will Jordan? Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is RTS. That's the guy we're talking about, Grant. He's the captain of... They've dropped again, the bloody Brumbies. He's the captain of the Warriors, which is our league team. He used to play league and union at like high school level. Then he opted for league. He's like their star player, and he's opting to come to the Blues at the end of this year. He's going to play Mitre 10 Cup or Bunnings, NPC, whatever it is now. And then he's going to have a crack at the Blues next year and try to get to the All Blacks. So, yes, another big name signing. Hurricanes looking more like a draft. There you go. Put Rico back on the wing and RTS at 13. Could happen as well. Will Jordan's greater than Geordie, greater than D-Mac. The Reds game was very costly for D-Mac for me. Will Jordan still had a couple of bad reads in his game? I guess it depends on what you want, eh? Geordie's got the biggest boot. Will Jordan's by far the best ball in hand guy. I think if you're going to play Mo'unga, it's probably not a bad idea to play Will Jordan because those guys seem to have like a connection. The Warriors, yeah. RTS and Rico could be a deadly midfield. True. Defensively, maybe a bit suspect. But ball in hand, they would be lethal. Knowing Ian Foster, he'll put Mo'unga at 10, Bodie at 12, Will Jordan at 11, Geordie at 14, D-Mac at 15. He could even go Geordie at 12. Will Jordan's been looking suspect on D lately. Yeah, he has. He's been beaten a few times, made a couple of bad positioning calls. But, yeah. Please, what is that on the front of the Brumbies shirt? I think it's a boat or a canoe. I believe. South Africans are so clueless when it comes to league. Yeah, a few South Africans have asked me to make a video on like what's the difference. And I've been talking to Big V8 Show about it a wee bit, trying to think about how best to do it, but I've never really pushed through with it. Maybe I should at some point. Will Jordan's defence is lacking in my opinion. His attack with Havili at 12 is great due to the Tasman connection in my opinion. Yeah, true. That's what that guy... What's that? Ben Darwin, that's what he reckons, is just the combinations. You just can't underestimate how important combinations are. So if you've got guys who've played for the same team, no matter what the level, they're going to be better players together. It's probably part of the reason that the Crusaders are so good, is they bring so many guys through the academy. So guys end up playing with each other at the academy, they end up playing with each other at Canterbury or Tasman or other teams, and they end up playing with each other at the Crusaders. This match is worthy of mentioning pizza or gardening. Let's hope our superstars live up to the hype and beat the Crusaders. No way we'll beat the Crusaders. The Blues will choke that all the way to the bank. Rugby is a constant contest for possession. League is a sequence of 6 opportunities on attack. That's pretty much it. I honestly used to like league better when I was a teenager because early teens, especially from like age 10 or so, partly because it was professional and it had a bit more flash about it, and a lot of the big time players were going to league, like Matthew Ridge went to league, and even John Kerwin ended up going to league. Inga Tawingamala went to league, so league seemed like the place to be, and I was able to get my head around it a bit more, but eventually I had to come back. Defensive fullback has fallen out of favour with teams recently. They want a player who offers more in attack. That'd be an interesting one to do on a video on, eh? Wow, that's some massive maul defense there. Unbelievable. Brumbies guys are absolutely pumped. They just shut that down. Nice food likes both codes. Yeah, I mean, I can sit there and watch a game of league, but if you ask me to choose, obviously I'm not going to choose league. I'd rather watch Union. I just find it a bit more in depth, hey, but there's certainly things to like about it. You got an LV. You got an LV. Liam Pinter. Oh. The only thing I understand about league is there's 13 men and follows the rugby. There's a certain amount of chances before a turnover. Yeah. After the 6th phase, I think you've got to give it back. You've got to either kick it away, or if you get tackled, that's it. You've got to give the ball back to the other team. And there's no lineouts. They don't push in the scrums. They do the 40-20, which is that kicking thing like they had in the Super Rugby AU comp. There's only 4 points for a try. There's a few differences like that. Will I watch that Origin? Nah, probably not going to watch it. I'd rather watch the NHL playoffs where I actually kind of know what's going on. Yeah. For me, I love international aspect for Union where it doesn't really exist in league. That's true as well. That's very true. The World Cup for Rugby Union is a fair bit more interesting than the one for Rugby League. It's pretty much the 3 big powers in league. Great Britain, New Zealand, and Australia, with Tonga kind of having a pretty good team in recent times as well. As far as I understand, I'm saying this as a guy who doesn't really follow Rugby League. Whereas at least there's a handful better teams in Union that are kind of like there or thereabouts. Who do you think's going to take the W in this game, Luca? Man, whoever makes the fewest mistakes, because nobody has been that sharp on attack, eh? The Canes need to go from bonus point win to just get a win, eh? Halfpenny is still maybe the best defensive fullback in Europe. That's probably true. Is that yeah now or nah? Yeah, it's yeah now. I'm not gonna watch that Origin. I don't know any of the players. I probably wouldn't enjoy it that much. Maybe I would. I don't know. I'd be better off going to watch a Rainbow Cup game or an MLR game to actually get some more exposure. Like I saw the Scotland squad named the other day and I was like, who the hell are half of these guys? I've never heard of them. So that's a signal to me that I've not been watching enough rugby, if that can be believed. This game sucks, doesn't it? Takeaways. At least it's close, man. It's close. By this point in the the Highlanders game, it was well game over. As much as Union's World Cup has been dominated by the Southern Hemisphere, the Big Three, there's still plenty of teams that realistically cause an upset. Yeah, that's true. There's only been 4 countries win it, but you go into it knowing that there's more countries than that could win it. And if you look at finalists as well, France has been in a final and never won it. Have any other finalists made it and not won it? Or is it just France? Maybe it's just France. Guys, see the Blues defense yesterday, man. Was I proud? So I thought, yeah, man. Finally, yeah. Finally. It used to be like, they're going to go hard for like 10 phases and then break. But for once they kind of didn't. Scoreline looks tight, but how's the game, Mr. 8-Ball? She's been a wee bit ugly. Wee bit ugly. Why the hell are the Brumbies calling this? They're calling a scrum inside their own half. What? After COVID is done, would you ever do a stream in person with Gareth Mason getting on the beers? Yeah, why not? Head to South Africa, go have some beers with G-Man. Well, he's in Port Elizabeth. And if I was doing rugby stuff, I'd probably be in places like Cape Town or Pretoria or Joburg or Durban or something. But yeah, he's in Port Elizabeth, so we'd have to see how it goes. I was a short arm. I've not been paying enough attention to the game, clearly. Right, 63 minutes, almost 64 now. Oh, that scrum's getting reset again. Brumbies have got the penalty. You guys were right. They called for the scrum to win the penalty. Now they can kick for touch. One thing that has been good about watching the NHL, I know this is a bit random, but I guess because America's doing pretty well with the vaccinations, they've got almost full crowds there, and the stadiums are absolutely sold out. So easier on the eye than a crowd like this, or any of the Trans-Tasman ones this weekend, to be fair. Yeah, so like a 13,000 seater will have like 11,000 fans. Just the seats nearest the players are empty. So yeah, it's really raucous. It's been so loud. Will you be watching the Lions box tests at 4 in the morning? Is that what time the games are on? Whatever time they're on, I'm going to watch it. I will have to just... I've kind of said to my loving wife, I've basically said, July is going to be tough. And that there's a lot of games on. And I wouldn't normally ask her to plan everything around the rugby stuff, but I was like... We probably need to plan the stuff around the rugby. My parents can maybe help look after the kids for a while or something like that. America has like 85% vaccination. I see they're going to give some of their vaccines to some other countries, which is good. Because that's been one thing that they've been getting criticized about. Because China's been giving vaccines or selling them cheap to heaps of countries, whereas America hasn't been doing that yet, but they've decided to help vaccinate a bunch of countries, which is good news. Canada didn't have fans. Oh, they did have a few, but yeah, not many. Not like the American crowds. That's true, Ryan. Robert, we are at 66 minutes and 6 seconds. She's been a bit of an ugly one if you're just joining us. Janae doesn't mind low scoring close games if it's due to good defence and not sloppy attack. This game's been a bit of both. I feel like the handling error rate's probably a wee bit high. China also gave the COVID virus everywhere very cheap, bro. Yeah, they probably should have stopped people flying around the world much earlier than they did anyway. People that are healthy at my age shouldn't be forced to be vaccinated. I guess everyone's got the right to choose, that's for sure. I'll get vaccinated. I don't have a problem with vaccines. I've had heaps of vaccines in my life. I turned out alright. Questionable, maybe. UK is getting pressure to do that, to give out the vaccines to everybody. It makes sense, man. If everyone else is getting all virused up, then that's still, the world's still kind of mucked up if that's the case, right? Everyone needs to be good. Why are we talking about COVID? Anyway. $151 for 6 if anyone's interested in the cricket. If I had to choose between the cricket or the State of Origin, what would I watch? Maybe State of Origin because it's shorter. Don't know. There is a scrum in this game as we've got 12 minutes to go. This the Hurricanes feed. Oh, and it goes to ground. It's a penalty. Bloody hell. It's just never got going, these scrums, eh? They just never got going. Randy's pumped for State of Origin. Come on, New South Wales. That's the thing, though. The State of Origin is kind of like the highest quality of rugby, though, right? Rugby league, I mean. What do I think about Nick White's mustache? It's pretty solid. I wish I could grow a mustache like that, but I can't. So, there you go. Envy. The envy is real. Ruben Love's going off. I want the Brumbies to win, but I'd rather have my Blues play the Canes than the Satyrs in the final. Shane, I feel you absolutely on that one. So, if anything, we probably want the Canes to win for the Blues' sake. But for Aussie rugby's sake, it would be much nicer to see the Brumbies get it done. Can you imagine what rugby would be like if the ball was a different shape? Not round, like a square? That would make for an interesting game. Man, is it just me or have the Canes been under pressure for like the last wee while? Valtini, oh, they've just thrown it to touch. Oh, everyone loves the mustache. How could you not, right? How could you not? Polygon ball. Junaid Almour's got concussion, so he's not playing. I know the Origin is a league thing, but how does it work? Grant, it's the Australian players, whichever... you guys will have to tell me whether they first played. It's wherever their state of origin is, so their first team that they played for. I don't know if it's their first professional team, first club team, first school team. Someone will tell us. But yeah, it's basically either New South Wales or Queensland. So Australia is the best country in the world at rugby league by a mile, and their best two teams essentially go at it. So yeah, pretty much. The commentator's pronunciation of Hussein is depressing. The New Zealand commentary team was calling him Hoyson, but apparently he tells people to say it Hoyson because that's the closest he can get in New Zealand to people saying it right. It's where they're from originally. So what happens if you're born in Sydney and you live there till you're 10 and then you go to like Brisbane? I thought it was Hussein, but apparently Wes tells people to say Hoyson in New Zealand. Like if people can't say his name, he just says say Hoyson like the sauce because it's close. I guess he's just sick of explaining it and people can't say it properly, I guess. I don't think Hoyson's right, but I also stand to be corrected because not my language. It's like north versus south, but every year, that's true. If you're born in Sydney, but you move at like 6... Oh, watch up, says the Peoples. You'd be eligible for Queensland. Play for a local club. Okay. Oh, loose ball. Here come the Canes. There's excitement going. Reasi offload. Savia. He hasn't done one of his magnificent dummies today yet, has he? Got to release tacklers. It's a tackle. Let him go. Penalty time. Tap it. And they go. They want to speed things up. God, how far behind am I from you guys? You guys said watch up ages ago. There's heaps of numbers out wide. Oh, are you kidding me? Bro, we waited that long to see Fidel, the prop, run, what, 25 metres? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You pronounced Hussein correctly. I reckon that's how it's said, but I appreciate you saying that, Grant. I honestly think Wes is just tired of explaining it to people. If you aren't watching... Oh, has Savia knocked it on in the build-up? Knock on in the build-up? Why are fans screaming every time they show Savia dropping the ball? I guess because they want the refs to call it, but that was a hell of a run by the big prop. Was that knock on before the tap or after the tap? Yeah, wasn't the... Yeah, because it was after that they got the penalty, right? Because it was not releasing on Savia. Back for the penalty? But if they already called the penalty, why are they going back? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make a lick of sense. Right? Well, I'm confused. What? So he knocks it on, then they get a penalty, but because the knock-on was first, you go back for the knock-on? Is that how it works? Penalty happened after the knock-on. Okay. Makes sense. Yes. Makes sense. I think. But that's a long way to call it back, eh? That's a long way to call it back. Pronunciation's pretty big. A different way to this. Accepting people are going to screw up your name. Yeah, that's basically true. I lived in China for 7 years and people just called me Ma Ke for 7 years, so get used to it. Can you go back that far for a review? Ducks Crack, that's the thing. That's a weird one. If they were going to call the knock on, I would have thought you called it at the time. I don't know. Surely if they knock on before the pen, then they can't go back that far. That's a weird one. That's a brutal one for Fidel because that was a hell of a try. Oh man, neither side's executing very well, are they? God, someone said 50-meter Geordie Barrett penalty to finish it. It could still happen. The ref is just guessing. I don't know how many clean scrums we've had in this game, but it's not many. It's definitely not many. Well, certainly this has got to be the lowest scoring game with Trans-Tasman by a mile. Star Leo can't watch. It's going to be a brutal one because you know they have got a penalty. And Savi is pointing at the sticks. Anthony's surname. Is it not Grew? I will definitely take guidance. Big boot time. Who called it? Somebody called it like 20 minutes ago. It's a penalty on halfway. Big boot time. There's only a couple of minutes left. I'm going to just avoid the chat for just a second while I watch Geordie line this one up because I kind of want to see if he gets it or not. He's put the boot through the ball and he's pushed it wide. No. The drama continues. Jamie's the one who called it. Well done, man. Boom for the like button, says JP. Yeah, guys, if you are along for the ride, do feel free to drop the stream likes. YouTube loves the likes. Starleo's crying internally. Oh, goodness me. D Jennings is 70 seconds ahead, man. It's a full minute. I don't know why it's slower on my TV. If I stream it on my laptop, it's literally like 20 seconds ahead of my TV as well. So I don't understand it. There's 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go. The Brumbies just need to kill the clock for 1 more minute to eke out a win. Some of you guys probably already know the result because I'm at 45 seconds left. So I'm just going to watch the TV for a second and just kind of natter away. 40 seconds to go. Nick White has a little snipe. They weren't expecting that. They were expecting the forwards to carry it for sure. They're setting the pod. Valtini's wants the ball. He goes through another phase. Oh, but the Hurricanes have won a penalty. Are you kidding me? High drama's right. Maybe they should have just kicked it and backed their defence to hold out. But they've conceded a penalty. It's brutal. Geordie's going to have another crack. Absolutely, surely. Valtini carries. And they just seal it off. Oh no, it's just Xavier on top of the ball. He wanted that ball. Okay, Geordie's lining it up. I'm not going to look at the chat once again. Geordie Barrett lines it up. We're already clocking the red, so this is it. Can he keep the Canes in the hunt for Super Rugby Trans-Tasman? He's missed it again. Are you kidding me? What on earth? Come on, son. No. Miss again. Wow. What a miss. Man, he's going to have nightmares about both of those. He even had a chance to make up for it. Unbelievable. Well done to the Brumbies. Bloody hell. Dramatic finish. 12 points to 10. What was the other game? 59-23. Oh, he just pushed it wide. Unbelievable. Oh, he's heartbroken. Look at that. He's peed off. And The Hurricanes guys have got their heads in their hands. Unbelievable. Man, and the Blues did a number on this Brumbies side. How unfortunate is it the Brumbies have to wait till round 4 to go home? Man, crazy. Man. Now the pressure's on the Blues to get a win over the Force next week and secure a home final. Wouldn't that be unbelievable? Oh, crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, even the Brumbies guys were a bit confused by that one. Man, crazy. All right, guys. If I'm going to get up to watch the Springbok squad naming, I better go to bed pretty quick, smart. So, yeah, like I said, congratulations to the Brumbies. Second Aussie side to get a win. It's, as I said, a bit disappointing that they had to wait this long to get a home game, and they showed what they're made of. But bizarre. Bizarre, bizarre, bizarre. The try thing is a bit of a weird one. That'll be a talking point. But anyway, take care of yourselves, guys. And, yeah, I'll see you again maybe at 4 o'clock in the morning for the Springboks team naming. We'll see. We'll see. Take care, guys. See you.